Nodir Khalilov. He is project design lead at Super Dispatch. His speech covers the importance of having career growth frameworks for product designers in organizations. Please welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm very glad to see you here. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Nodir and I'm a product design lead at Super Dispatch, and I've been working for more than 10 years in the design industry, and today I would like to talk about career growth frameworks for product designers. I hope this topic will be helpful for engineers as well. Okay, so I'd like to start my speech with short information about Super Dispatch, because some of the stories which I will mention during this speech is connected with Super Dispatch. So Super Dispatch is a shipping platform for cars. We have our headquarters is located in Kansas City, Missouri, and the second office is here in Tashkent. We have more than 90 employees and 6 product designers. So hiring and interviewing designers is one of the most important part of my job, and I provide lots of interviews with designers, and based on my experience I can say that lots of designers don't know how to grow as a professional designer, or they don't know about requirements for being a senior designer, and some of them saying that it depends only on years of experience. So as a designer, if you design something for 3 or 4 years, then you become a senior designer. But actually it doesn't work that way, and there should be a career growth plan or framework with measurable points. So during this speech I will cover what is a career growth framework and the role of it in a company or in your team, and then I will explain how to build a career growth framework for our design team at Super Dispatch. I will share some of the learned lessons and made mistakes. And finally, let's say you are only one designer in a company or team, and how you can grow grow as a professional designer in similar cases. So, career growth framework is a framework that helps employees to understand the requirements of their work and how to grow and make progress at work. These frameworks should provide growth plan and actionable roadmap items, and these frameworks should help designers or engineers with leveling up in their career, and they should provide clarity and give direction. So there is design career index statistics. So Design Career Index provides research about design organizations and share this research each year. So according to this research, 71% of design organizations doesn't have a similar framework, and only less than 1% of them have a documented framework with measurable points. And another part of this research highlights that 47% of designers, they always try to leave their companies, or they leave their companies because of poor leadership or management. And 35% of them always look for new opportunities or for new job due to lack of career path. So these designers try to find another job because their company doesn't provide opportunities for growth. So if people doesn't see a path forward at your company or team, then they will find it somewhere else. So at Sugar Dispatch, we decided to extend our design team in 2018. And I started providing lots of interviews with designers, and we hired 3 designers in 2 months, and we established our design team. Then we started working on improving our design processes, improving the quality of the product, building new features. But after some time, designers started asking different questions like, who am I? And I'm sorry, I think something went wrong with these icons. And what is my title? Or how can I level up in my career? Or how can I impact more as a designer? So these questions outlined that the following problems. So we didn't have clear guideline on career growth for designers. And we didn't know who was on what level and how we can identify their current level and provide a growth opportunity. So after making some research, we realized that the solution could be a career growth framework or career growth ladder. So I started working on the first version of this framework with our team. I first did some quick research and learned how product-focused companies or startups solve similar problems. And after doing some quick research and discussing the progress, we built our first framework. So we documented the necessary skills for each product designers. And instead of giving specific titles for designers, we decided to experiment with numbering these levels. So we had 5 levels, and we decided to provide our performance reviews or performance conversations based on this framework. But we outlined some problems, we found some problems with this framework. So some of the requirements weren't clear enough with this framework. For instance, designer who is in level 1 should be passionate. So it was challenging for us to compare or to clarify that if designer is he or she passionate or not. So another problem, we didn't know how to measure the progress with this framework, and it also wasn't clear for us to clarify how to get promoted. So after discussing these challenges with our engineering leadership and with our designers, we decided to work on the next version of the framework because we lost another 6 months. And while working on the second version of the framework, I spent more time on research and discussed these challenges with our design team. And we found lots of different frameworks on progression. So there are existing frameworks, companies share their frameworks. Engineers also can find some of the useful frameworks from progression. And then in the second version of the framework, we decided to experiment dividing the necessary skills into 4 categories. The first category is dexterity, so design skills. It could be a typography skills, visual hierarchy, or information architecture, or UI UX skills. And the second category is strengths, getting stuff done. It's about how the designer completes the given task. The third one, wisdom, impact. So how designers should impact business or their team or company in different levels. And finally, the fourth one is charisma, communication, and leadership. So we also decided to try experiment with clarifying levels, each levels. For instance, associate product designer mostly focuses on learning the established design process and design patterns. On mid-level, they will become more independent, and starting senior levels, they take ownership of one product. So Super Dispatch has multiple products for carriers and shippers. So that way we documented each necessary skills. So here is an example for only associate levels. So designers can start mastering the levels above associate only when they master these documented skills, or at least they should master 80% of these skills. So we rolled out this framework in January 2021 for our performance conversations, and overall team's feedback was positive, and we set SMART goals based on this framework, and currently we are testing it, and we will work on the next iterations in 2022. So this framework is helping us with identifying, clarifying the level of designers, and setting SMART goals. We are setting SMART goals based on this framework, and we also track progress based on this framework during one-on-one conversations. So we have weekly or bi-weekly one-on-one meetings with each designer, and during these conversations we discuss their growth plan and their progress. Also, this framework is helping us with hiring process. So let's say we need to hire a senior product designer to our team. We compare the skills of candidates with our framework, then we make a decision. So now let's say you are only one designer in a team or in a company, and you don't know how to grow because you may not have a senior designer in your team, or so you think there is no opportunity to grow, but there is always opportunity to grow as a professional designer, and there is a funny and simple method, designer's octopus. So the idea is an octopus has head and tails. So each tail is your design skills. So you may have many tails or not many tails. So you can add all your skills as octopus tails. So this can be typography or graphic design or UI design or UX design or communication skills. And you can scale each skill, each tail of octopus from 1 to 5. So you should give mark yourself, and you have to be honest here. So if you don't know how to give mark, you can ask feedback from your colleagues or from your designer friends or engineer friends. And once you design your octopus. You can set goals based on this and work on the process and revisit your octopus after a month or 3 months. So here we can see a lot of different octopuses. So designers always they try to be creative, and different designers based on this simple framework designed their own octopuses. So, as a conclusion, I would like to recommend engineers and designers to always to look for growth opportunities instead of just doing their daily work or daily tasks. And companies, I also suggest companies to think about their employees' growth and help them. Otherwise, they will try to find this opportunity from another company. Thank you so much for your time.